Yeah. I forgot it.
No, it's a take on. I mean, I was just, when you make another construction, per se, what would be something which kind of take you on
To the next one.
to the next one, and what is it that you expect from the
reaction from one idea of the reaction, what idea of the thing is to make the art, whatever is art, to make it, to get the aura out of it. Okay, that's I think that's more. I don't know how to affect the economy. I don't think. I think maybe is it more visual or as an experience? Is it just because it's the sound and moving? Is the first is the level that I like to have that get that aura out of the thing. Right. If you can react to it or you interact with it without fear of feeling it is art. That I think is important source. But also I think all of them, if there is a deeper meaning. I don't know what kind of deeper meaning. I was thinking when the train was I was thinking a lot about the way the toy effect thing. Like when you make a toy, it becomes harmless. Yeah. Fear is not there. Okay, but the toy always takes up various other functions, takes up various meanings. You don't have any fixed meaning to play with. Okay. So the association of the train with the British coming of it, it has a very romantic side of this movement of this. All these things I think work with the train. I think when you're making the train, but I don't know what in the other sense whether if the deeper meaning is not reached, I have no problem with that. Okay, like if you don't get it, like okay, it looks like fun thing, it's fine. Because it's take out the aura of the artist, it is something that is budges the artist who is the artist. So it's a choice. I don't think that has to be there. Okay, somebody wants to make things, it's fine. I have no problem with it. That's it.
Have you ever?
I missed your work, so I can't ask you anything.
No, I haven't shown anything. And have you ever thought of kind of bringing it outside or any other? I think probably I've seen only one installation of yours in the gallery space. I don't know whether you have exhibited outside as well, also in terms of the interaction with people or pass by. So have you ever thought of it?
I like to do that. I like that. One thing we did to share with why which was. We thought that people would rush in and all community rushing. It's a huge thing. I think 30 feet by 90 feet are huge. I had around 400 objects which had huge bodysuits and things like that. It was in the basement of Whitechapel. Yeah, we did it, but nobody came in ultimately. The gallery people also comes to the gallery, they also didn't come because it's not a gallery. So another thing I think we used to do a lot of things in the college, putting up the works there. It happened for some time. I wanted to put my works in the toilet, worked well, but then the problem that it stopped. It didn't continue to say you are with twice of size, work well. But then what happens, the students are not very careful and artists becomes very jittery that ये थोड़ा टूट गया, ये हुआ, dust हो गया, money लग गया, stop.
I think should we move to more urban point of view of adding all your works and probably how maybe as an architect or as a collector one perceives it and how we kind of transform that barrier. Also because these guys are young artists and they would want probably have questions about how urban spaces kind of can be used in art forms or can become part of spaces where art forms are put in. So that is one point which we've been discussing before as well. I mean,
increasingly artists are being started working on or interested in the urban landscape.
Commissioned work.
It is a kind of, in one way it's a fascination because of the new economy and drastic development and things are, almost like, in a magical realistic way happening, here and there, and something else is coming out. The next day, if you work on the street, you will see it has not been seen never before. Things like that. And also places like Delhi and of course in Bombay, there are huge, weird constructions of multiplexes which has no connection with the environment in which it is built, and all of a sudden you see that you are very colorful and you don't know which place you are in and what kind of relation you have with the entire structure. Once you go in and you see a completely different world, and a world of, in a very mocking terms. It's not a world which you identify with, but it's a very mockery world of probably a Western ape in one sense, but very badly done on the other hand. And I don't know when.
I think also what happens is these sculptures that are installed in urban landscapes become very important because, say, for a city like Delhi or in Pune, which is more like a ring road kind of construction in architectural urban landscape, as opposed to Bombay, which is more linear, these spaces become as identification spots. Like the sculpture which is either nice or bad, these become identification spots where you say that this is I've seen this and you're 2 minutes away from there. You go to the left and that's how you kind of. So if you're new to a city, you kind of those become spots for identification. I was just we were just thinking about it the other day, and we were talking about earlier in urban landscapes there used to be watchtowers, which used to be enough to say that you are being watched. No one ever thought that no one ever saw who was inside the watchtower looking over you and seeing you if you're stealing something somewhere. But it was just the sheer architectural value of that watchtower which kept a fear about in that town that there is this. But now, as technology moves, a watchtower is redundant because now you have CCTV cameras and only those who need to see the security system can see it. So then the urban landscape suddenly changes, So things like that which kind of move from that kind of point of view.
I think even a place like Baroda, where I'm sure most of these people have been to, it applies a lot because all Nagji Patel sculptures and they become such big points of landmarks. Exactly. That this place is right next to this sculpture and right next to this circle.
And you always say, like next to this circle, or I think in Bombay, I think a couple of years ago, the bull at the Fiat bull at Nariman Point became such an important landmark for Razan Bata that everyone says that that's the landmark of that space. That go around that and come back there. That was things like that probably.
Question redundancy.
Yes,
This question, city planning also going to ask that. So, I think what it lacks is that question of ethics.
If you talk about city,
Part of it, but in a city like Bombay, the whole space is under huge attack. Huge kind of pull from various groups. Of course, the builders groups are there. Then there will be the tenants of the place. Then there are the pavement users. The snow space is like a space which you can say is free of these contradictions. So any building means, any kind of activity means you are endangering one. Okay. You can't do it without others' right. Like whole of this Kalagur area, how it happens. They threw a huge amount of people from it. Only can clean it by depriving a section. Okay, it's cleanness for whom? For what? So, I think that's the whole of Dhara, what is happening? Whom we are building it for? Who is actually, what do you mean by being dirty slum? Like this, like slum as a disease to the city. whose view it is?
I think, sorry,